Tsale, it's story time. This is the final chapter of Richard Wagner's epic musical drama, Der Ring des Nibelungen. It's time to tie up some loose ends. Buckle up, because this is a long and bumpy ride. What happens between the twisted lovers Brünnhilde and Siegfried? Will Wotan retain his power and authority as king of the gods? Will Alberich reclaim the ring? And will his curse be nullified? All of these questions and more will be answered in part 4 of the ring cycle, Götterdǎmmerung, or Twilight of the Gods. For those of you who need to catch up on parts 1, 2, and 3, you can binge watch them by clicking on the links in the caption. For those of us who are ready to satisfy our curiosity and hear the conclusion of this saga, let's get into the story. Let's start off with the love-struck duo, Brünnhilde and Siegfried. As you might recall, they fell in love at first sight, and young Siegfried is absolutely obsessed with Brünnhilde. They spent the night together on Brünnhilde's rock. And now the sun is rising. Brünnhilde smiles at her lover. Siegfried, a new day is upon us. Siegfried returns her smile. Brünnhilde, I don't know what you did, but I feel like a new man. Well, I think most of us know what Brünnhilde did. But it's important to note that Siegfried is vulnerable now. He has tasted love. And with that, he finally knows what fear feels like. Could it be that in loving someone, he knows that he's afraid to lose that love? But with this new feeling, he wants to explore the capabilities of his upgraded manly persona. Maybe there's a rush of testosterone and adrenaline that he wants to utilize. So Siegfried decides it's time to venture out and be a hero. He's like, Brünnhilde, my love, the world needs a hero, and that hero is me. I shall return to you for more manhood training. Wish me well, my love. Brünnhilde gazes at him with pride. Siegfried, my Siegfried, the world awaits you. But as you embark on your heroic deeds, take my shield, take my horse, and think of me every step of the way. Siegfried is reluctant to leave Brünnhilde alone, even though she has the ring of fire to protect her. So he makes a bold decision. Brünnhilde, my love, take this ring. This is a symbol of my love for you, and it will keep you safe and protected in my absence. And with that, he hands her the coveted ring of absolute power. And he rides off into the rising dawn to be a hero. Now, new character alert. Near the Rhine River, we meet Gunther, the recently enthroned king of the Gibichungs. Gunther has a sister named Gudrune and a half-brother named Hagen, who serves as his chief advisor. Hagen is fixated on arranging suitable marriages for his half-brother and sister, and he's convinced that he has found the perfect candidates. And guess who they are? He wants Gunther to marry Brünnhilde, and he wants Gudrune to marry Siegfried. Hagen doesn't realize that he's playing with fire. Gunther and Gudrune are doubtful that Hagen's plan will work, but Hagen is convinced that Siegfried and Brünnhilde have the right pedigree for his half-siblings, and these intended marriages will elevate the Gibichung kingdom to new heights. Gudrune is worried. She's like, Hagen, Siegfried is a major catch. He's handsome, brave, and he can have any woman he wants. There's no way he's picking me. Hagen smiles at her confidently. Half-sis, relax. You're a very eligible princess. Besides, I've got something that will do the trick. Siegfried is on his way here. We'll welcome him with a refreshing drink, laced with a potion that will make him fall helplessly in love with you. He'll be willing to do anything we ask of him just so he can marry you. Then, since he's the only one who can penetrate the ring of fire, we'll convince him that in order for us to agree to him marrying you, he has to bring Brünnhilde here to become Gunther's bride and queen. Gunther and Gudrune are so excited. Hagen, you're a genius. This plan is perfection. So Siegfried arrives in Gibichung land And as custom demands, he has to go and greet the ruler of the land. Gunther and Gutrune welcome him warmly, and Hagen puts his plan in motion. Of course, they let Gutrune offer him the potion. Sir Siegfried, you've traveled a long way. Please accept this royal drink as part of our welcome custom. Siegfried is like, thank you so much. I am parched. And he swigs that drink like it's the juice of life. Oh, young Siegfried. As soon as he swallows it, he instantly forgets about Brünnhilde and falls helplessly in love with Gutrune. Gunther now seizes the opportunity to tell Siegfried that he's looking for a wife. And he has heard about a beautiful woman protected by a ring of fire. I think she could be my wife, Siegfried. You're a fearless warrior. Could you help me get her? Siegfried is more than ready to help. Of course, Gunther. Your wish is my command. Show me where this woman is, and let's capture her as your future bride. A toast to love. As Gunther and Siegfried leave for Brünnhilde's rock, Hagen is quietly observing his plan unfold, and he couldn't be more pleased with himself. You see, he has an ulterior motive. He wants the ring for himself, and this is his chance to get it. Meanwhile, Sister Brünnhilde is on her fire rock, missing her man. She has no idea that she's being erased from Siegfried's memory. She actually has a visitor, one of her Valkyrie sisters, Waltraute. Waltraute is worried about Wotan, and she's come to see Brünnhilde to see if they can figure out how to restore his power. Waltraute is like, sis, Dad isn't doing well at all. He came home with a shattered spear. You know that spear is his ultimate symbol of power and authority. He's virtually useless without it. The whole world is turning upside down without his leadership. And it all stems from that stupid ring that I see you are now wearing. Look, don't you think it's time to return this ring to its rightful owners, the Rhine Maidens? That's the only way we can restore normalcy. Brünnhilde is not moved. Let me get this straight, Waltraute. You want me to give up the ring that the love of my life gave me as a symbol of his love? Really? You climbed the wrong rock, sis. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to daydreaming about Siegfried and his muscles. Good day. Waltraute can only shake her head and ride off in disgust. Well, Brünnhilde is soon visited by a man who looks just like King Gunther, but it's actually Siegfried who has disguised himself using the Tarnhelm. Brünnhilde is like, who the heck are you? The man replies, I'm here to claim you as my queen. Brünnhilde is like, queen? Oh, yeah, queen. And she tries to fight him. But remember, she renounced all of her superpowers because of her love for Siegfried. Ladies, never give up who you are for any man. She even tries to tap into the power of the ring, but it doesn't work against Siegfried. His spirit is too strong. Well, Siegfried overpowers her, snatches the ring from her finger, and captures her for Gunther. Then they make their way back to Gibichung land. Back in the city of Gibichung, Hagen is there waiting for Team Gunther to return, and his dad pays him a visit. Guess who is Hagen's father? I bet you didn't see this one coming. Alberich. Yes, Alberich the Nibelung, creator and cursor of the ring. Alberich is like, my son, make me proud. Bring my ring back to me. Do not disappoint me, son. Hagen is like, Father, don't worry. The ring is coming home. Indeed, the ring arrives on the finger of Siegfried. By this time, he has removed the Tarnhelm, so Brünnhilde sees him in his true form, and she has put two and two together about how she has been duped. She is pissed. She desperately tries to throw a wrench in Gunther and Hagen's plan by claiming that Siegfried is the one who really came to capture her, so she should be his bride. Well, that theory doesn't really go down as well as she hopes. Gunther and Siegfried basically discredit her, and Siegfried happily joins Gutrune to move forward with their wedding plans, while Brünnhilde's heart breaks with a mixture of pain and anger. There's a bit of a somber mood now between Gunther, Hagen and Brünnhilde. Madame Brünnhilde is obviously upset because Siegfried has betrayed her love. Gunther's pride is wounded because he feels embarrassed about the fight over Brünnhilde, especially since Brünnhilde falsely accused Siegfried of having relations with her when he was disguised as Gunther. Hagen knows that he can use this situation to his advantage. He convinces the king and his intended bride to join forces with him against Siegfried. He's like, look, Gunther, Brünnhilde, Siegfried has caused much damage to both of you. Perhaps he must pay for his treachery with his life. Brünnhilde doesn't waste 1 second. She's like, oh, I can tell you the easiest way to kill him. His back is the only part of him that doesn't have special protection or power. You see, before I gave up all of my powers for him, I gave him some extra protection. But because he's so fearless and he always faces his opponents head on, there was no need for me to protect his back. So, aim your sword at his back and you will be victorious. You're welcome. Listen, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, okay? It's been a while since we heard from the true owners of the ring, the Rhine maidens. They're still swimming around in the Rhine River, and yes, they are still upset about losing their gold. And who happens to come strolling by the river? Siegfried, happily sporting the ring and flashing it in their faces. The Rhine maidens are like, you know that ring is ours, right? Siegfried laughs at them mockingly. You will have to pry it off my cold, dead finger if you ever want to get it back. And that ain't happening. Peace. And he dances away happily. The Rhine maidens keep their cool. There goes a man who is so foolish. He knows not what he has done. Let's wait. Karma will deal with him. Young Siegfried is on top of the world. He's about to marry a princess. He has the ring and the Tarnhelm. He feels invincible, and he sees himself as a heroic lover. He joins Hagen and Gunther on a hunting trip in the woods, and he goes on bragging about his heroic feats. Hagen looks at Gunther, and Gunther looks at Hagen, and they nod in agreement. It's time to get rid of this self-centered simpleton. Hagen produces another potion and offers it to Siegfried. Here you go. All of that heroism must have made you very thirsty, Siegfried. Siegfried eagerly consumes the drink, and instantly his memory is restored. He starts talking about Brünnhilde and what happened when he first laid eyes on her. You know, the earth-shattering kiss. Gunther uses this information to accuse Siegfried of betraying him. Then Hagen takes that moment to follow Brünnhilde's advice, and he stabs Siegfried in the back. Our young hero is gone. A funeral procession is quickly assembled to transport Siegfried's remains to the Gibichung Palace. Gutrune sees his body and loses it. What did you do to my fiancé? Now Gunther feels guilty, and he blames Hagen for killing Siegfried. Now Gunther and Hagen start arguing, and they both want to claim ownership of the ring. This ring is a whole criminal. Well, the curse of the ring rears its ugly head again. During the argument, Hagen kills his king, Gunther. Hagen quickly moves to take the ring off Siegfried's finger, but something happens. As Hagen gets close, Siegfried's hand rises as if to say, if you are a man, take one step closer. When I tell you, Hagen's soul left his body at the sight of the dead man's hand rising up. Now Madame Brünnhilde enters. She is shaken by Siegfried's death, and she now realizes that he was a victim of trickery. She wants to make things right. She takes the ring from Siegfried's hand, and she requests that a funeral pyre be constructed to cremate his remains. She looks up to Valhalla, the home of Wotan, and announces that it is time for him to give up his godly kingdom. Then, as the fire blazes hotter and rises higher, Brünnhilde tells the Rhine maidens that when the fire subsides, they should come and reclaim their ring. She mounts her horse and rides into the flames to join her lover-nephew Siegfried in the deathly fire. Now everything is being consumed by fire and water. The Rhine River overflows its banks, and the fire settles to reveal ashes. And the Rhine maidens finally take back their ring. But guess who tries a last-ditch attempt to snatch the ring? Hagen. The Rhine maidens are like, "Oh no, sir, your days are numbered." And they drag him back down to the depths of the Rhine, where he drowns. The ring is finally cleansed of the curse. The gods of Valhalla are consumed by the fire, which spread all the way to their home in the skies. And the Rhine maidens continue their peaceful existence with their precious ring. This concludes Wagner's ring cycle, Der Ring des Nibelungen. I hope you've enjoyed following this wild tale of fantasy. On the next episode of Storytime, we'll switch gears and jump into something more lighthearted and less melodramatic. Thanks for watching. Cheers.